Hello, this is Darren from PatientNotes. I just wanted to run you through a workflow for recording telehealth with PatientNotes. Windows PCs typically do not handle the sharing of audio in the same fashion that MacBooks and Apple now do. So, in some cases, you might actually need to use a third party application in order to make sure that it's capturing both sides of the clinical consultation. So, what I want to do now is to actually show you what it looks like with setting that up. One system that we have used is one called Voicemeeter Banana. Now, when you search for Voicemeeter, it is important that you do grab the banana version because there are some platforms that do not allow recording across different browsers. Now, why is this in Windows versus Macs? It really comes down to how the audio is held with ownership when using web browsers. You may not be having the issue, but if you do notice that any of your telehealth sessions are recording your audio but not the client's, then this is the process that I would actually encourage you to do. So when you're inside of PatientNotes, typically what you'll find is, let's just say we're putting in here test. You'll always see the option where you can choose different microphones for your session. And in here, I've got quite a few different ones. Now, yours might just be your physical microphone, or you might see a couple of options, say if you're using headphones. What I'm going to do now is show you how to set up this Voicemeeter in order to successfully capture data from both sides. Now, if you go to Google and you search for Voicemeeter, and I would actually suggest you to look for Voicemeeter Banana. Here, what you'll then find is the option to download a version. Now, note that it is donationware, and they do say that after 30 days, if it's working, you can opt in to give a donation. And that's a small $5 to $10 donation that you can offer to the developers. Now, it's also important to know that it doesn't capture any of your information. All it does is mixes the audio from the web browser into your audio that's coming in from your microphone to then bring it and pair it into one. So then capturing of that audio is successful. So first step is to download the banana. And then what you then do is follow the installation instructions. When it's installed, what you'll actually then find is that it provides a mixer, almost like what you'd expect a DJ to have in front of you. So I'll just share that's what you'll actually see. And don't be intimidated by this. You'll actually find here that it says what up the top, what is the audio coming in from different sources, and what's what we call a virtual input and virtual output. So on the left-hand side, what you actually need to do is choose your drop down from the stereo input. Now, it's important that what that does there is that you choose the microphone that you're going to then use. You'll find typically you don't need to worry about multiple inputs. Let's just say you had a few different people having different inputs. Yes, you could do that. That's quite an advanced use. On the middle section, what you'll see is that there's both a virtual cable and an auxiliary cable. That's what AUX is. On the hardware out, it's important that you then choose what speakers you want it to come into. So in this case, I want it to come to my headsets or my headphones, and I'll choose that under A1. Now, once that's installed, you'll then find that the option to choose different inputs exists. So what does that mean when you're using it for telehealth? I'm now going to share what if you're using something like Google Meets. Now, if I go into Google Meets here, and again, sorry for the duplication to start off with, you'll then see from a different camera you'll see the option to pick up audio, and that gives you the ability to choose Voicemeeter, choose any microphone inputs. Typically, what I would encourage here is to have the microphone input being your PC and your microphone output, where possible, being the auxiliary cable. Now, in this case, what you'll then find, sorry, just cut off. So choose your microphone for the in and your Voicemeeter auxiliary for the output. When you return back to Voicemeeter, you want to see the fluctuation both coming in for input as well as from the outside things. So if I was to, for example, play the test sound within, you'll now see that it's now bouncing around for the input. So if I can successfully hear what's going on through Voicemeeter, both of what I'm saying as well as what's being said and routed through the Google Meets or any other platform, it's now going to be able to successfully capture what you need. Now, if you need to adjust your Windows sound settings, go into drop-down A1, choose your open Windows sound, and then what that will do, it will actually populate the speaker options of playback and recording from your Windows device. Now, again, don't worry, in our help section, it's got all of the settings that you should be looking for. When you then return back into PatientNotes, choose Voicemeeter B1. As you're recording, you should see the bubbles appearing both from your voice as well as from the voice from the other side. Now, there are some telehealth platforms that do not allow you to choose the audio to come out of their system. If that is the case and you can still hear it through Voicemeeter, what I encourage you to do is to use one browser, such as Microsoft Edge or Chrome for Google Meets, and another different browser for the use of PatientNotes, so that then there's no fighting of the audio across the different platforms. From our support guide, you can actually go in and see more information about this. So if I was to then look at the Help Center and search up Windows Audio, you'll then find that there's an outline of how this can be captured. Looking at the setup within Voicemeeter, options for customizing your sound settings within Windows. That can include renaming the devices or even removing the extensive list that I showed you before, so that you then know exactly which one to do. It will also have some discussion about the conflict of browsers, like I talked before, as well as the option should you have any other audio issues. Overall, I wish you the best setting this up. Reach out to our support team, look at the help guide, or also look at the Voicemeeter support information. Just ensure that you choose Voicemeeter Banana, which is the pro version, versus the Voicemeeter normal version, so that you don't have any issues of not being able to choose different options within PatientNotes.